Right, now let's get the latest. Joining us is the Free State Head of the Water and Sanitation, Dr. Tseliso Ntili. Doctor, good morning and thank you very much for your time. Can you just share the very latest this hour?
Good morning, and the viewers. At this moment, as you are aware, that we have already issued directives in order for the mine to be able to start now contain this particular incident and to try just to remove the slimes which are really all over from the major, incidents which happened. Now, currently, what happened? We do have a storage of water, a dam, which was used on the operations, which is not a big dam. This particular dam managed to have was an increase in terms of its level of water due to rain and a little bit of seeping from the previous compartment dam, the slum dam, which break and so on. But now what happened, this overflow was really going now towards even towards the road 704, and the flows were really a little bit high and it really subsided and so on. The mine was instructed even before, when they have to deal with this matter, they need to pump this particular water and put it to the safe place where it will never, harm anybody. But that particular process was not a very high risk process, but because of the flows which happened, people were really feeling uncomfortable. As the department, we are really on site. We are really monitoring everything in terms of these particular flows. All the flows have subsided and so on. And even also this morning, we are really doing an intensive monitoring with our dam safety specialist.
But as the department, what is your honest view on this? Because many could then say it's pure negligence. If you're talking about dams that were now overflowing, one assumes, in as much as we're not technicians, we're not particularly familiar with this area of specialization, but one would assume that on a daily basis, there would be one person who goes and measures the dam levels.
Yes, as municipality, we are still doing, and as a department, we are really doing our monitoring. Because this particular incident is happening in the mines, the jurisdiction, mines have been instructed to be able to do the containment around this particular incident. And we are not interfering with what they are really doing. They have really appointed even their own approved professional person to deal with this particular issue. Now, because of the rains are starting to come in, it means that there will be some areas where there will be more collection of water and will really overflow. But they need to be able to take the safety measures as the priority. And we have already mentioned to them, and they are also dealing with that. I think one of the biggest issue which was supposed to have been done and which needs to be done is to be able to explain and educate even the communities and the people around this particular process of trying to rehabilitate or to contain these particular issues, and say there will be some instances, if at all they have seen a little bit of an increase of water, they really have measures that they have already put in place.
But honestly, this would create great anxiety among the communities, and that is where you come in. They can continue to function as a private entity, but your role is to protect ordinary citizens who are not in business. Have you been able to go on the ground and speak to them and allay their fears right now?
Yes, what we have already done, even now as we speak, our department, they are really on the ground, and we are really making sure that the more information is really being disseminated to our communities and so on. I think the most important thing is to be able to to increase in terms of civic education around these matters.
And then insofar as the displaced, have you been able to place them? What is the status on that? Because when we had our reporters on the ground, it looked like that area would not be habitable anytime soon, perhaps next year in June at the very least. So how is the situation for those that have been displaced?
Oh, currently, as we are really working as one government, and the provincial government have already taken some aspects around that particular matter. And the human settlement, and they are really putting their plans together, in which they can also try to be able to, unfold. But what I'm really aware of, they are really, doing their first part in terms of making sure that they really put our communities back to where they're supposed to be, and with areas which are really safe.
Are you aware if the amount that was donated by the mine initially has actually reached the citizens or community members?
At this stage, I can't be able to say much on our side as a department, because as we are really much on the technical side and looking at this particular containment to be in a good way and monitor what the mines are really doing. But what I'm aware of is the provincial government, they are really administering that particular process of all the donations, and to be able to make people to be where they're supposed, and to receive what they're supposed to receive.
All right, Doctor, thank you very much for your time this morning. That was Free State Head of the Department of Water and Sanitation, Dr. Tseliso Ntili.